Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to go through a typical module overview. So we'll do module 1. I started, in the last video, I talked about the notes pages. So you'll want to be sure to get the notes pages printed or buy them from the bookstore before you want to start module 1, okay? So let me go back to table of contents here. You're going to treat D2L, if you haven't used D2L much before, you're going to treat it like a checklist. So you're going to go through in order. This is the ideal order or suggested order that you're going to go through the modules on the left. And then in each module, so I'm going to click into module 1. In each module is a checklist within a checklist, okay? So if you find, once you get into it, if you find a slightly different order works better for you, that's okay. But I would start with this recommended order. Don't try to jump around too much. And I'll explain the flow of the class as we go. So having your class calendar, some people like to print that out. I have mine right next to me. Some people like to print that out to have that weekly general pattern, right? Remember, we're going from Wednesday to Wednesday. So the first Monday to Wednesday is module 0. Then from Wednesday to Wednesday is each module, okay? So here's module 1, which is Introduction to Statistics and Data Collection. And so there's usually a little cartoon or something, image here that has to do with what we're going to talk about. This is a kitty saying mew, mew, because mew is the Greek letter mew that we'll use a lot for a mean. And so that's our image for this week. So each week we'll have what we're doing page, then lecture and notes, then the lab, okay, lab and Desmos, and I'll show you an example Desmos page. Then some weeks, roughly every other week, not exactly, but roughly every other week, we'll have a required discussion that's part of the lab. In the off weeks, there's still a discussion area, and you're welcome and encouraged to use it, but it's not graded or required, okay? So and our first one has introduction, so that's also a good thing to do to get to know each other. And then you'll see the MyOpenMath, the online homework, and then the last thing is the quiz, module quiz in MyOpenMath. So that's what a typical week will look like. So now let me show you inside each of these things. And right now I'm in the teacher, you wouldn't see these things. I'm in the teacher mode just to make it a little bit easier to show you these things, but yours might look slightly different. Okay, so what we're doing this week gives a little overview of what we're doing. It explains all the activities you're going to do that week and the specific outcomes. So you can see the content here that we're going to cover, and then there's a look ahead at what the next week will be. And you can go forward using these little arrows at the top or bottom, or you can go back to the module list. Okay, so second thing in each module is the lecture and notes, okay? This is a very important part. You don't want to skip this part because this is what we would be doing if we were in person together or on Zoom together, but you're going to be doing it on video. Okay, so here are the videos for the class. Actually, I see I need to put a link to our survey right up here. So I'm still getting this ready for you. And you'll see me in the videos, and you'll see the notes pages. I'm physically writing on them on paper, and then sometimes also showing you things on the applets, and then right before each video are any links that you need to access during the video. So what I recommend is you might want to watch it more than once. It's up to you, but please do the activities along with the video because you will be expected to use all the technology. We're going to need it for our practice problems, for our homework, for the labs, for the quizzes, and for the tests, okay? So it's not just, most people don't learn just by watching. So you could watch once first and then try it. You can decide how you want to do it. But each link you need in a particular video is right before the video, okay? So you can open it up before or however you want to do it. There's a few videos that are not made by me, so you'll see just a couple in the class, like this data justice one. And then sometimes there will be additional resources that are underneath a video, but it will say if it's optional. And the times are here so you have an idea of, okay, how much time do I have? Can I watch the next video? And then at the top, let me scroll back up to the top slowly, there is the overall total of the videos at the top. So this is approximately 2 hours and 48 minutes. So each module is about around 3 hours, okay? So that's what our normal lecture time would be in a class. So in an in-person class, we would have 3 hours of lecture a week and 3 hours of lab a week, okay? So it's roughly 3 hours. It'll vary a little bit, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. So it comes out pretty close on average though. And then the midterm week is half of that. Okay, right up above, I didn't mention, if you hadn't done the whole notes packet, you can also print week by week if you prefer. So here's the Module 1 blank notes in a PDF form for printing. Or if you prefer to type your notes, you can use the Word doc for typing or also for listening to it using a screen reader. And then also for your reference, I have the completed notes. So these same pages that you see in the videos are scanned into the completed notes. In case you don't want to watch it, but you're like, well, what did she write right there? I want to just double check that. You're welcome to double check that as well. Okay, so this will be your first step in each module is watching the lecture videos and taking notes. The wonderful thing about video is you can pause it, you can speed it up, slow it down, replay it. You know, you have all of these options, and you have, this player has all the settings right here. Okay, and then let me go down to the bottom here. There is some of them are optional, like there's a review of rounding and percentages, which is helpful for a lot of people. A lot of people just kind of didn't quite get that, get those topics, or it's been a while, so please use those. And then at the bottom, you'll see the links to textbook resources. So I do recommend the textbook as an add-on resource, but not the primary resource, okay? So you'll see sometimes it's down just to a subsection that is relevant to our particular class, or sometimes it's an entire section, okay? So you'll see those there. Okay, let me go to the next thing. Okay, so actually let me go back to here and I'll show you. Okay, so after you do the lecture, the next thing is the lab. And the lab and the MyOpen Math can actually kind of be done simultaneously. I think the lab is a little more interactive with sliders and matching and things like that. And you will get instant feedback on that. Those are automatically graded. Then the discussion is something where I can give feedback as well. So I think, in my sense, the lab is going to be helpful to do first and then the online homework. But you might go back and forth and just see how it goes for you, okay? So you're welcome to work on those. And then, of course, if there's a lab discussion, you're going to add that in as well, okay? And then the quiz at the end. So let me show you a little bit about what Desmos looks like. So this is just a preview to show you a little bit about it. So here we're going to be studying, doing an experiment, studying an experiment that was done. So there's some information here, and I'm not able to scroll. I can scroll a little bit. So you can see there's places where it'll ask you to put in answers. Okay, and then this is great because you can even do simulations, so it'll flip coins, things like that. So you're going to be doing some trials. And then sometimes we will be using applets within here, the technology we're using in the videos. So I'll put a link to that there. And then sometimes it'll be like a word answer, and at the bottom, I can't see it, but it says share with the class. So you'll be able to, when you share with the class, you'll be able to see what some other students wrote there. So you can kind of get a sense for what other people are thinking as well. And then here's another phase to the experiment. And then I want to show you some different types of things. So then you might have like a select all that are correct. Here is some actually reading a data set where you would type your answers, and it will tell you if you're correct right away. And then There's some more information in order to do a matching. So with these, you kind of spread them apart. It'd be helpful to make this full screen. And then I see some titles or headings here in bold, and then you're going to be matching the description with each method. And then here's something for your opinion. And then again, you're going to do another matching. So look for the bold things and then see what goes with it. So here we're talking about quantity and notation. And when you get it matched, it'll give you like a thumbs up or a check mark. So it'll give you instant feedback most of the time. And same thing, there's a lot of vocabulary in chapter 1, so there's a lot of matching. At the end, there'll be a score thing with your total score. Okay, I'm still working on coding all this, so it's not quite working just yet. And also I didn't do the activities fully, so I don't have any points, but these would all be filled in with points. Okay, so that's an idea of how the labs are going to be. Okay, and then I will make another video for how to get started in MyOpenMath, and I'll talk about the quiz in MyOpenMath as well, since it is in there. Then for the lab, the first lab is an introduction, and also you're going to talk a little bit about statistics too, like how do you envision yourself using statistics in your desired career. And if you're not sure of your career path yet, just pick one option that you might want to do. And then this one does have required replies. Try to find a person that doesn't have any replies yet and reply to them. You'll have two replies. So be replying to 2 classmates' individual or original posts. Okay, and then repeat. So we'll be doing that each week. And remember that it's Wednesday to Wednesday. And the lab and the MyOpenMath are due is Wednesday to Sunday. And then you have from Sunday to the next Wednesday to do your quiz. Okay. And then also any replies, or if there's an updated post in the later discussion. Okay. So reach out if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video about MyOpenMath. Okay. See you there.